Arizona and USC. And we did get some news already this morning on Deloria. I believe it. Let me check that, but I'm pretty sure he's out. So that's going to change the situation just a little bit here for. I see just a little bit. I don't want to disrespect on Deloria. I think we've already seen him have, I believe, some injury woes, right? So we'll have to see what happens now. And let me see if there has been line movement and what that injury report actually said. I think we already knew. Maybe that's just where I'm at in life and didn't have the exact update going into the net, waiting on that next report. He is downgraded to doubtful in the game. Deloria, pretty big part. I mean, can Arizona handle it? We'll discuss it, but a 1,000-yard passer so far this year, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but pretty accurate, certainly. Well over, his passing, I want to say 67, 68%. Let me see here. I don't know if it matters. I'm not going to look it up, but on the fly here like that. But that information came out. And again, we were knowing we might have an issue here. But the Trojans got that win last week, of course. And I don't know. I'm not saying we, called the game right, but just USC, that yes, flashy certainly, but man, they could be lured into something like that. It just felt like, Colorado was a great side there in that one. So I don't know. We're not talking Colorado football today, unless you want to. USC opened a 22-point favorite and went down to as low as 20 and came back up here to 21. The total, look at this thing. This was already dropping because I think that we knew, but that, Fafita would end up being the quarterback in this one. Maybe that's going to hurt Arizona's offense here, and maybe it will. But I just think that Arizona has enough defensive wherewithal in this game to kind of help this stay under in this game. Can Arizona stay within 3 touchdowns without Delory? Yeah, I think Fafita's had okay. Look, he was 27 of 39 last week, 232 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception because they played well in that game against Washington and getting that game. So they played obviously much better than expected against the Huskies, even though the Huskies got out of there with a victory. But they were getting 3 touchdowns, right? So they were in that game all the way. It felt like, or we're going to cover anyway all the time. So USC's won 10 straight meetings, but have failed to cover the last 3 times. And just a 50-50 proposition here against Arizona. And USC, yeah, they've probably been the better team over the last decade as well, and laying points and things like that. So last year it was 17-13 at halftime for SC, and they won by just 8 points as a 14.5-point favorite. So you have to lay big points again here with Arizona, a team that probably can match up here a little bit, I would think, with some defense, and USC certainly has some defense too. They're allowing, though, more. Let's see. Arizona is holding opposition to 40 yards below their average, while USC is allowing 65 more yards than the team's average in yards. Maybe some of that was reflected on the big numbers there yesterday. That's a cumulative number. So for me, I don't know. Fafita's fine. I think it's more about what Arizona's doing, and I can't give out the total. I kind of want to go premium still, but I did pick this game to give on the show here. I feel pretty strong about this under, actually. And that's where I'm going to go. I think it's actually going to be lower than this by kickoff. Yeah, I think it will go to 70. I think it will go to 70 here. So let's do it now. Let's get on the under. Arizona always keeps it close against USC. Come on. And now are they going to do it with some wild offensive? Maybe Fafita comes in there and it is a wild offensive game. But I think if it was in Arizona, you have more of a chance of that happening. Even though last year was a low-scoring game, and there will be more points than last year's game, certainly. But I think this one's going to be in the low 60s. I'm going under.